Alright, so the final section of our code. So you'll remember from previously, so if you look back at the slideshow when we looked at BMI, there was a number of categories of BMI, and what you can do is you can use an if statement to calculate that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say if the BMI is less than 18.5, like that, then in curly brackets we're going to say the category is equal to, and if you look at your notes you'll see that when they have a body mass index of less than 18.5, the category is that that person is underweight, like so. Put a semicolon at the end. Now I'm going to just start a new line there just to pretty it up a bit. If that category is underweight, you'll see my category is currently underlined. That's because I haven't actually declared my variable yet. So the other thing we need to do is up here say that we've got a string. That string is going to be called a category, and it's going to have a starting value of nothing, quote quote. Now it's underlined because I haven't actually output it anywhere, I haven't used it anywhere. Okay, so if the body mass index is, go away help, if the body mass index is less than 18.5, then the category is underweight. What we're going to do now is use a series of nested if statements in order to work out the other BMI categories. So we're going to have an else statement here, but we're going to say else if, and that means that we can now check our next BMI value. And so our next BMI value is that the BMI is less than 20. You'll have to check that in your notes and make sure that I'm using the right value. And if the BMI is less than 20, then we're going to set the category equal to normal weight. Oh, terrible spelling. Normal weight. Then we're going to go again. So we're going to say else if the BMI is less than, is it 30? Check that in your notes as well. I'm just using random numbers here. If that's less than 30, then the category would be equal to overweight. And I've missed a couple of semicolons at the end of lines there. And our final else, if everything else fails, we don't need another else if, we just need a final else. Our final category is going to be obese. And once again, semicolon there at the end. Now we just have to output our final sentence. So we're going to use console writeLine. Put my semicolon in so I don't forget it. That BMI indicates a BMI category of, and then we're going to simply append the category string to the end of our sentence. And so our final output from our procedure is console writeLine. That BMI indicates a BMI category of, and then it's going to replace this variable category with the string that it gets from our nested if statements over here. Let's check our program now. So our height, let's stick with our 186 and our weight of 85. The BMI is calculated, I've entered it in centimeters instead of meters, so that's the wrong BMI. So let's press enter, run it again. Our height is in meters, so it's 1.86. Our weight, let's go with, what have I been using, 85. BMI is calculated to be 24.569, and the BMI indicates a category of overweight. And we've got an error in there because that should actually be, I've said less than 20. That value is wrong. So have a look at the values that are there for the BMI, and you'll see that that value is wrong, which probably means I've got this final value here wrong as well. So check those BMI values, correct your if statement, and get that working correctly for our console application. Remember, we've already developed test data in our Google Slideshow, our planning document, and so you can use that test data now to test your console application. Once you've done that, your next process is to take this idea, the code that we've used here, and actually create a GUI. Because the doctor, as you can see in our slideshow, has decided that the BMI console-based program isn't up to scratch. He wants to make it prettier and add a GUI to the code as well. So your next job is to take this code, design a graphical user interface, which is going to mean you're going to have somewhere on your form to enter the height and the weight, and then a button which is going to calculate the BMI, and an output label which is going to display what the BMI category is going to be. Alright, have a go at that task.